Okay. What are we looking at this morning? I was just looking at S&P, still hitting all-time highs, as usual. But everything else in the market has been kind of garbage lately. So, quite unfortunate. Um, just get my trading window up. See if there's anything from last week that looks tradable today. So we had some of this stuff did throughout the day last week. CELC kind of just moved sideways the entire day. GameStop pulled back quite a bit. Just came back up, but now looks like it's coming back down to these this low of 155. GameStop had quite the quite a pullback on Friday, so interested to see what happens with it today. It seems like it's been pulling back pretty steadily recently. So might come up like a little bit, but I don't know. I just don't see this thing coming up. Retesting any of these highs back here or anything. It is pulling back on really light volume, so maybe if it comes down, it bounces off 120 or something, we'll get it moved back up. I don't know. I just don't see it moving back up. It's just been trending down for like 3 weeks. So we'll see what happens with it, but I'm not gonna really take a trade on it. I might take a trade on it short. GLSI came up on Friday, but has pulled back the majority of its move, down like $30 from the high, so I don't think we're going to try to trade that. AFMD came back up to some of the highs that it made on Friday, but it couldn't hold it. Seems like it's pulling back now. And then JKS also just sold off completely, but I assume this was on like poor earnings news. Yeah, not really much to trade today. We just had ears pop up. So put that on the chart here. Just hit the pre-market high. A lot of recent highs that are higher though. So I'd expect it to run into some issues in the 550 area and pushing up to 625. So maybe we'll see how it acts coming into some of these areas. Ears not shortable. So watch for a long play here. We'll see how it looks coming up into 550. If it even reaches up there. It looks like it's struggling a little bit. It broke up above 534, which is the breakout point, but has pulled back most of the move now. So it looks like we're putting in a 1-minute false breakout here. 5-minute candles can still recover. So we'll wait and we'll see what happens with that. I want to see how it looks coming up into 550. just because on the 5 minute now, this 5 minute candle moved from 488 up to 530. So if we're buying for the break over 534, on the 5 minute we'd have to hold back all the way to 480. On the 1 minute we'd want to hold down close to 5. So 30-cent downside on that, and then the upside that we're looking at, it looks like there's a lot of resistance coming in just above 550. So um, you know not really a great profit loss ratio on that trade, so I'm not going to take that. Also, volume is kind of mixed. Quite a lot of selling volume. Every time it pushes up, looks like a lot of selling's coming in. Now we have this green candle that pulled back the entirety of its move, has a huge wick, and it was on fairly high volume. So, nothing too great. Morning house, how's it going? Not really too much to do this morning. Few things that we're looking at aren't really moving too much today. Yeah. Again, I mean, it's just like the weirdest thing. The overall market is just killing it right now. We just pushed new highs in the overall market on Friday, and it's just the low floats in the morning have just been shot recently. So not really too much to trade at the moment. I feel like most of the money I've been making has been coming into the open in the last like 2 weeks. All of my streams has just been small losses. I guess you just gotta keep taking the trades. And just gonna use small size now, just because we have been a little weaker recently. So use small size until we see the sentiment change, and then we'll try to trade bigger again. Right now, we just gotta look for these smaller trades, see if anything pops up on news. Try to capitalize on what we got. So ears selling off a little bit, just broke down below this level. Said before, I'm looking at ears coming up into the 550 area. It looks like it's doing well and it's going to hold above there, then try to take a buy on it. Otherwise, probably just going to let this chill. WHLM is up 60%, but has pulled back quite a bit from the pre-market highs, so I don't think I can really trade this until it comes back up. Just nothing to trade. And then I'll watch GME today, just because we've had 4 days in a row where it's trended down. So we'll see what it does today. I'd like a continued downtrend, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It's been going down for quite a few days now, like I said. On the daily, we have 4 red candles in a row, and then, we have a few small candles, but we have quite a few red candles in a row. It's coming down into the 20-day moving average, or 50-day. So we'll see if it bounces off that. Looks like it bounced off the 50-day the last time it came down. Yeah, it's the 50-day. So we'll see what happens when it comes down into this area. 50-day sitting at, out here, 145.50 right now. So we'll see what it looks like when it's coming down to that support level again. Yeah, not too much else going on. Looked at some of the stuff that moved up last week, but all of it not really doing too much at the moment. We don't really have any continuation on any of those. Let's put years over here. And let's get some of the stuff that's moved down today. QLGN sold off quite a bit. Very light volume, so probably not going to take a trade on that. PTM. Another one that sold off quite a bit. I wonder what is the reason. It's an Indian stock. Apparently, there is a surge in COVID cases in India. It's pulling down the Indian stock market. That's interesting. We got a few weed stocks on here. I'm pretty sure AFA's a weed stock. Bad earnings. Yeah, bad earnings. So it's down, nearly 10% on earnings at the moment. But still very light volume. I mean, all these things that have pulled back now have pulled back on pretty light volume. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to take a trade on any of these. Tilray pulled back quite a significant amount. Looks like it's still pulling back even. What is the news on this? I don't know why this is pulling back, to be honest with you. Huh. Yeah, don't know. It doesn't look like there's any specific news that's making this come down. They talked about collaboration with APHA, which is also pulled back 10%. But that was on earnings. I don't think, Tilray's earnings are nowhere to be seen, so unclear what's going on there. Well, maybe this is one to buy just because it's pulled back on literally no news. So might get a bounce back up, but I probably won't be buying it. Ears still pulling back a bit. PT. Yeah, I feel like PT and WHLM are kind of linked because they have a very similar looking chart. But WHLM now pulling back even further, so I really doubt we're going to take a trade on it. Yeah, so it's just kind of a waiting game at the moment. Not really too much to do. Only two stocks that have moved up significantly today, and both of them, did it earlier this morning and have pulled back from the highs. So yeah, not really too much to see. These were actually let's throw Gmail there. So these are the ones that came up on Friday. Yeah, there's nothing. So this is the stuff that popped up on Friday. Yeah, Friday, right? Yeah, I think. Yeah, Friday. my weeks mixed up. I was trying to remember if this last weekend was the weekend that we had no trading on Friday, but yeah, we definitely traded on Friday. Um, but this is stuff that popped up on Friday. We had GURE, but now it's pulled back significantly. Essentially, no volume traded today. CELC also like no volume traded. Like everything is like no volume traded. AFMD has some volume, but not nearly enough for us to want to make a trade on it. And it's also just kind of moved sideways, so there's not really a good trade to make on it. I mean, there's still the possibility that AFMD, falls off at this point and pulls back, and maybe we could short it, but we need volume to be able to do that. And then JKS is trading on 9,000 shares of volume this morning. So, yeah, nothing really to be seen there. Kind of a dead morning. SPY is at all-time highs, as usual. It's actually crazy. This, SPY chart is just absolutely insane. I mean, we'll see what happens, but looks like it's pushing higher and higher at the moment. This thing cannot be stopped. I wonder if there's a reason why it's pushing up so much in like the recent past. I guess like more stimulus talks and stuff. Hmm. God. It's like news where it's like, if you had invested X amount into Roku, how much would you have made? Yeah, the stock market has been pretty insane this last year. Pretty insane. I don't really look at these higher float stocks very much. But God, look at this. Last year when the pandemic hit, this thing tapped $50. Now it's at, God, it went up to 486. Absolutely insane. 10x profit. What's Tesla been up to lately? Speaking of 10x profits, Tesla also looks like it's in a little bit of a slump. Doing a little consolidation wedge here. Got earnings soon though. See what happens with that. Last time it hit earnings was all-time high. And then earnings happened, and it's essentially pulled back ever since. So, not looking as strong as it once was, but still ridiculously strong. So we still got about 10 minutes to 8 o'clock. Not really seeing anything. I think if it hits 8 o'clock, nothing really comes up on news, I'll probably end the stream really early this morning. I got my meeting at 9 o'clock. I usually have to go to, but I got a few more things to do this morning before it. And if literally nothing is going on, then I can't just sit here and talk about the same stuff not moving for another hour. So we'll see what happens coming into 8 o'clock. make the determination whether or not to roll out here. Ears coming up a tiny bit, but still, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it seems like literally nothing is going on right now. So got a few things I gotta do this morning. Um, so it's a good day to just dip out a little early since nothing's really going on. I feel like before the pandemic, pre-market trading was like really not super viable. So I mean, if we go back to that happening, I'll probably start streaming later. I assume, uh, but you never know. We might see some momentum come back into the pre-market stuff, and if we do, then I will be here making trades. Market open has been, I feel like, significantly more consistent and just like better trading for at least the last like 2 weeks. I feel like pre-market trading for a while there was pretty nice because there was like clear trends. The volatility wasn't as high, so it wasn't like you could just get like completely chopped out of your position and it'll drop like $1 or something if you blink. Where like that's what it's like in the first 5 minutes of the open, where it's like you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a significant amount of money if you're not like completely on your game. Whereas some of these pre-market stocks trade really nicely, over the course of like 45 minutes or an hour. But we need to get that volume back in. If people aren't trading pre-market, then gotta figure out something else to do. I feel like the one thing that I actually want to watch today is GameStop. If it keeps coming down, I mean, if it keeps pulling back, I feel like at some point it's gonna hit a critical price where if it drops any lower, the bottom is just gonna fall out from under it. And we're pushing back down towards this 120 level that we bounced off of previously. So really interested to see what happens as it comes down into that level. I think for right now we're gonna be watching this 50-day moving average. So 145 right now. See if it bounces off of it. Yeah, really solid day on Friday for GameStop going down. If people were on the short side of this, it looks like really nice trading. Ears doing nothing, moving sideways. I love looking at GameStop news. Ascendiant Capital downgrades GameStop to sell, lowers price target to $10. That's spectacular. There's all these people out here holding it from like 200, and the price target is $10 from the analysts. I love it. Is GameStop making a crypto NFT for it? Let's see. Hmm. Apparently, GameStop put up job listings for people who have expertise in blockchain and NFTs. No news. No specific news, I guess. See all these people on Wall Street bets still talking about GameStop gonna go to $6 trillion, but just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And there's like people who, it's actually really interesting. How many contracts does DFV have? So I know he was talking about exercising, exercising all of his contracts. I also feel like that's a significant amount of money. How many contracts does he have? Alright, here's the April 1st update. He has... oh yeah, he only has 500 contracts. So, not really a super significant amount of shares. Yeah, so I mean, like, some people are like talking about how if DFV exercises his contracts, there's gonna be like something crazy is gonna happen, and it's gonna shoot the price up. It's only 50,000 shares. I mean, it's really not a super significant number. Jimmy's traded 100,000 shares this morning, and it's the deadest I've ever seen. So, like, on these 5-minute candles, they're trading 100,000, 150,000 shares every 5 minutes. So, his 500 contracts are like a blip. I really doubt they're going to be pushing the price up very much. Alright, coming into 8 o'clock. Nothing pops up in the first minute or two, then probably chill. So ears, volume coming into ears at the moment. So this is the kind of like critical level I wanted to see it push into, up in the 50s. So pushed up tap 50 and then pulled back a bit. Catching a little bit of support in the 40s, but doesn't look super strong. The 5-minute was a true breakout, but only by about 1 cent. And this thing is going to hit resistance coming up into 550, and then 6, and then up into 7, because it had recent highs up in those ranges. Yeah, it's pulled back like 20 cents now. It might come back up, but I don't know. It's just a little bit too much selling for my taste. And we had nothing pop up on the scanners at 8. So, not looking super good. Alright, probably gonna cut it here. I really don't see anything happening, at least in the next 30 minutes, and there's really nothing to watch at the moment, so give you guys the morning off if anyone's in chat. Yeah, if anyone's around. Good luck trading today. Hope you guys make some money.